Ano nga ba ang mga dapat asikasuhin pag nagpapatakbo ka ng negosyo? Ano ang mga tips na gustong ipaalam sa'yo ng mga accountant pero hindi lang ninyo napapag-usapan?
Ang daming negosyante pero hindi lahat nakakapagpatakbo ng negosyo nila ng tama. Lalo na pagdating sa business records. So, ano-ano ba yung mga usual na issues na na-encounter ng mga negosyante at paano ba ito masosolusyonan?
Ngayon, meron tayong isang special treat for our subscribers. We invited a professional accountant to explain ano-ano nga ba yung mga usual na issues na kailangan asikasuhin ng isang negosyo.
Yan.
So today, we will be talking to Ms. Sharon of Think Tank.
Yan. So Miss Sharon graduated cum laude pala, with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Accountancy from the University of the Philippines in Diliman. She also has a Bachelor of Laws Degree in the same university, UP Diliman. She is a member of PICPA, or the Philippine Institute for Certified Accountants, and also a seasoned consultant on the topic of computerized accounting systems. Now, Ms. Sharon, with her 20 years of experience in tax, accounting, and business consulting, she has handled clients ranging from professionals to groups of companies in a wide array of industries. So, iba-iba yan. Banking, non-bank, retail distribution, logistics, you name it, she's done it. She brings fresh insight to both large institutions and SMEs with her unique combination of entrepreneurial skill and corporate experience.
Excited na ako makausap si Ms. Sharon at ni Ramon. Pero bago yan, let's do a quick shoutout sa nagbigay sa atin ng comment. Are you ready for this?
I am ready, sir.
Sabi niya, thanks for the very clear explanations. Handsome attorneys.
Uy!
Ayun naman.
Wow.
Oo. You did a very lively discussion and explanation. I learned a lot today. More videos on land matters, please. Thanks po.
Sino ba yan?
This comes from Herminia Mendoza. Herminia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Herminia. We appreciate your comment. Now, please keep watching and sharing. And if you want, gusto nyo mag-submit ng tanong sa aming show, please go to www.legalguide.ph and click the submit topic button. So, now let's get on with the show. This episode is brought to you by Think Tank Professional Services, a professional services firm that helps businesses grow and flourish with proper financial advice and business practices. Think Tank carries out this vision with a team of professionals with multidisciplinary training and experience in the fields of accounting, finance, taxation, audit, legal, and government compliance. Get in touch with them at www.thinktankaccountants.com. Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you make better choices. I'm Attorney Ramon Ramirez, and I'm with my partner,
Attorney Erwin Zagala. And hello everyone, as we promised, we brought along a special guest. And pag-uusapan natin ngayon, Attorney Ramon, is everything that comes after registration.
Okay. So, nairehistro na yung kumpanya nila or yung entity nila. What's next?
Akala kasi ng mga tao, the biggest challenge is registration. No, diba? Kailangan ba itayo ko yung kumpanya? Hindi nila alam. Hindi pa tapos yung kwento after you register. Actually, it's just the start.
Totoo, Attorney Erwin. Parang ano yan eh. Parang baby yan eh. Di ba? Na akala mo ang mahirap yung paglalabas ng baby. Pero ang mas mahirap yung
pag inuwi mo na. Pag inuwi mo na. Yan na. Yung puyat, yung pagod,
palit ng diaper,
pangbili ng gatas.
Gising every 2 hours.
Exactly the same as a business.
Yes.
Kasi akala mo pag nakuha mo na yung certificate of registration, hinga
okay na. Hindi. Parang ano yan, parang anak yan. Kailangan alagaan.
Yes.
Tama ba, Attorney?
Oo.
Alright.
So let us turn our attention to Miss Sharon. Ito na. So once you've registered the business, what is next?
Yes. So I love your analogy. Ang ganda na analogy, no? Para ka nag-uwi ng baby, ng bata. So tama yan. Na it all starts from there. Once you're registered, you go home with your certificate of registration, your official receipts or sales invoice, and your books of accounts. So those are the things that you come out of after the registration, and you need to maintain and update and keep track of. So that's what we're going to share about today in detail. We go through each of those.
Nice. Exciting.
Go ahead, Misha. So, what can you tell us about those things? Actually, nataranta ako. Ang dami sinabi ni Miss Sharon eh. And I'm
Yep.
sure hindi lang
So,
ako yung natataranta. Even new business owners would probably feel the same way.
Kung ikaw nataranta, di ano pa kaya yung mga
Oo.
mga new business owners natin?
So walk us
Yes.
through it, Miss Sharon.
yes. So, well, number one, bookkeeping. So, how do we do that? When we register with the BIR, we get for at least 4 books. If we are a non-VAT entity, so we get 4.
Mhm.
Number one, we have the sales journal. Number
Mhm.
two, purchase journal. Number three, general journal. And number four, general ledger. So
Mhm.
those are the 4 basic books that we need to keep and update for our bookkeeping. So quickly lang, let's share what these books are for.
Yes,
So
please. Oo.
sales journal as the name indicates. So it's a recording of our sales, yung benta natin. So whether we collect that in cash or receivable pa natin siya, hindi pa nabayaran dahil may 30 days, 60 day or whatever term, we record all of that sales or benta in our sales journal. And the
Okay.
way we record it is historical. So
Mhm.
we cut it into months kasi syempre we need to summarize, we need to total our sales every month. So we can start with a certain page of the book for the month. And then historical na yan, sunod-sunod siya.
Mm.
Then next is the
So, hindi
purchase.
pwedeng magsingit, Miss Sha.
Yes, kasi may sequence yan and may
Mhm.
date. So as
Okay.
much as possible, we make it historical. But I understand meron mga pasuyo or may accommodation tayo ginagawa. Okay lang naman yan, just follow the sequence, put it next, even if actually previous date siya, that's okay. If you
Mhm.
really have to, because you need for whatever reason to accommodate the request of the client. And then for purchase journal, well, as the name says also, that's where you record yung mga purchases, yung mga binibili. So either you pay it in cash or dahil utang pa siya, as long as it's a purchase, you use it for your operations, for your business, you record that in your purchase journal.
So Miss Sharon, ulitin ko lang. So yung purchases, yung mga binili mo papasok sa negosyo mo na mga resources, mga supplies, and then yung sales, yung papasok naman na pera na binayad sa'yo. Tama?
Tama, tama.
Okay.
So,
And
sales journal, purchase journal. Tama?
yes, tama. And pareho yan na historical recording. So yung purchase journal, same as the sales journal na yung date din, historical siya, magkakasunod. And then we track it every month and we put a total for the month. Yun
Mhm.
siya. And then the third book that we're talking about is the general journal. So
Mhm.
its general journal is historical recording also of everything that happens in the business. Because there are things na hindi siya connected sa sales, hindi din siya connected sa operating expenses, but it's like capital infusion.
Mhm.
Yung ganyan. Yung mga other than those that affect your sales and purchases, you also record that in your general journal. As the term implies nga general journal. So everything that happens, you journal it or you book it.
So,
And
ako,
then, yep,
ang question ko na, Miss Sha, no, yung general journal, hindi na niya sakop yung sales and purchases. It's everything
sakop pa rin
else.
niya.
Sakop pa
Sakop
rin.
pa rin niya.
So,
So talagang lahat.
pag nag-sales ako, kung may sale ako, meron ako sa sales journal and then sa general journal. Tama ba?
Yes, also.
Pag
Yes,
pag
yes.
bumili ako ng something sa negosyo ko, purchase journal and then sa general journal. Tama ba?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, clear.
So we capture everything in the general journal. And
Mhm.
then connected to that is the general ledger.
Mhm.
So magkahawig yung journal and ledger, magkaiba lang yung arrangement. Kasi in the ledger, it's arranged per account naman. So revenue, for example, debit, credit, and
Mhm.
then expenses, debit, credit. Yun lang yung magkaiba yung presentation, but it's connected, si general journal and general ledger. So that's
Mhm.
the 4 basic books you need for a non-VAT entity.
So, you mean to say, kung VAT ka naman, iba pa yung configuration ng mga libro?
May dagdag. May
Ay,
dagdag.
so it's the same. May
Yes.
dagdag lang. Okay,
Okay.
that's good.
Yes. So may dagdag na 2 more books. That's the cash receipts and cash disbursement journal. So as the name implies also, cash receipts, so very specific siya to cash na nakokolekta niya. And then
Mhm.
cash disbursement, so cash na lumalabas sa kanya sa negosyo. So
Mhm.
yun. So it's also captured na rin actually dun sa sales journal and purchase journal. It's just that you focus on yung cash lang na nilalabas at pumapasok. Yun yung
Basically
nadagdag
yung
na books.
yung as in cold hard cash na pumapasok talaga sa ano.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So whether
Yes.
whether ngayon kasi pwede ng
GCash,
GCash or kasama 'yon.
bank
Yes.
transfer.
Siya, no?
Kasama
Bank
yun.
transfers.
Yes.
Okay. Hindi
Yes.
lang yung
Basta yung
paper
na-credit
cash.
na siya.
Okay.
Not
Sige.
utang. Not utang. Yun
Not
yung
utang.
hindi kasama.
Hindi
Yes.
siya hindi receivables, no? Hindi
Hindi
kayo
receivable,
Hindi
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 siya
payables. Okay,
Yes.
gets.
Yes. So very unique talaga pag VAT. Kaya
Mhm.
sabi natin mas complicated actually yung ating compliance because
Mhm.
if you're non-VAT you just file taxes quarterly, but if you are VAT it's monthly. And then there's additional attachment pa to the VAT form na madalas din nakakalimutan kasi hindi to nakalagay sa certificate of registration.
Mhm.
So as taxpayers, we follow kung ano yung tax types sa COR, right? But wala
Right.
itong SLSP. So summary list of sales and purchases. So it's just a tip to our viewers to always attach the SLSP if you are a VAT registered entity. You attach that to the tax form. Very important.
That's
To
good to know.
the monthly tax form, Misha?
To the monthly, yes, to the monthly VAT form.
Nice.
Misha, I have a question. When do you actually have to worry about renewals or stamping of books? Kasi ang alam ko, attorney naman,
Kasi
tinatatakan yan eh.
physical yung books di
Oo,
ba?
eh.
So nauubos yan. Tama ba, Misha? So
Yes.
what happens there?
Yes. So what the rule that we follow now is BIR allows na ubusin mo na yung books until you have it stamped. Kasi the old rule is or some BIR offices, they want it to be stamped whether may na-fill up mo or hindi, naubos mo yung pages or hindi. But the rule that we follow now is magtira ka lang 10 pages. Kapag 10 na lang yung naiwan, then you can go to BIR to have it stamped already. And then you can also get a new set of books already. And
Para
then
hindi
what if,
maabala yung recording mo, tuloy-tuloy
Right.
lang. No? Tama.
correct. But what if sobrang onting transactions mo, mga 1 or 2 pages lang yung na-fill up mo, you can wait until you reach na 10 na lang yung naiwan, which could take 2 or 3 years before that happens. Then you have it stamped. So, old rule is every year you need to do it. Current rule is as long as magtira ka lang ng 10 pages, you're good. You can continue using the same book without having it stamped over and over.
That's a fantastic tip for bookkeeping, Misha. And aside from bookkeeping, what other things do we need to pay attention to?
Yes, so again, part of raising the baby business. So we have our official receipts or what we call OR or sales invoice or SI. So
Ayan.
what's the difference of these two?
Oh,
OR is
actually, mabuti pa lang nabanggit mo yan, Misha. Hindi ko alam na dalawa pala yan. May OR, may SI. Napaka-technical pakinggan, ano?
And
yes.
these are very technical. No? These are very technical terms. No? You can't be too loose about it. No? I think in business we always say, yung invoice. No? But it's not necessarily an invoice as far as the BIR understands it. So, ano nga yung difference, Miss Sha?
Yes, so OR or official receipt is what we issue for sale of services. So when we register our business with the BIR, we need to be very specific on what we will get. If we plan to sell services, then we secure an OR from the BIR, and that's what we issue also to our customers for our service. And then if we are selling goods, then we issue sales invoice or SI. And then that's what we get from BIR also. So you don't need to get both. Just either lang, any of the two, depends on whether you're selling service or selling goods.
So, Misha, may tanong ako. Usually kasi ako nagre-restaurant with Attorney Ramon and ako matagal na nagtataka, ano ba ang classification ng restaurant? Is it a service or goods? Ano ba ang binibenta nila talaga?
Yes, so that's a very good question. No? So for restaurants, they are selling services. That's why restaurants issue an OR and we ask for OR.
Kaya pag
Hindi
di ba,
invoice.
pinapatawag mo, papahingi naman ako ng OR, pa-OR.
Yeah,
Ayun pala yun. Okay. That sounds good. That makes sense. Ayan. So, Miss Sha, another question ito nauuso kasi ngayon. Lalo na nung nag-pandemic, Attorney Ramon, napansin mo, lahat online.
Yes.
Di ba? Pa-deliver dito, pa-order dyan. So, Miss Sha, considering na online siya, do you still need to issue an OR or sales invoice for online transactions?
Online
Depending on
naman eh.
whatever. Oh, online naman eh.
Oh. Bakit pa kailangan
Yes.
malaman ni BIR? Ganun ba yun at Misha?
Well, ang rule natin dyan is, as business owners and taxpayers, we're supposed to report all our income from all sources. So, by the rule, we need to be reporting it kahit na actually hindi visible kay BIR yan or online yan. So, we need to be issuing official receipts or SI even if it's purchased online. So, how do we do that? For example, when we buy goods online, dapat pinapasok na ng seller yung SI in the package,
Mm.
ideally.
Yeah, ang
But
galing, no?
that seldom happens actually.
But so totoo, 'di ba, there was this time na nung the pandemic na parang ang daming sinabi ni BIR, "Huy, mga online sellers, you have to report your income. Hindi to basta-basta na ano, no?" And then I think maraming nagulat. Parang,
Ha?
ha?
Kailangan ba yun? Online naman
Oo
to.
nga, ba't ngayon nyo lang sinabi? Di ba?
Or may mga
Oo.
naririnig pa ako. Maawa naman kayo. Konsiderasyon naman.
Yun.
Pandemic na nga. Ipapareport nyo pa yung sales. What's your reaction to that, Miss Sha?
Well, as we said, the rule really is we're earning income from the Philippines, so we are also supposed to give our contribution by paying our taxes and reporting that income. There's a way eventually for BIR to track this and find out. So might as well at the onset, once we start this business or whatever practice, we should be doing what is right
Yeah,
by
and to
the
be
rule.
clear, in addition to what Misha said, it's in the law, no? So the law requires that all our income for citizens and residents are reported, regardless of kung paano nyo inano yan. How, whether it's online, whether it's in a job or whatever, that should be reported.
I have a theory as to what happened. Yung gulat factor, akala nila, ba't yung ngayon lang sinabi? Hindi nila pansin yun before kasi it was never relevant for them before that time. Kasi hindi naman sila nagbibenta eh. So parang, bakit ko papansinin yung rules about that? So nakakatawa lang kasi parang nagsabay-sabay yung mga tao. So akala mo ngayon, something new's happening. It's not. It's not. Ang tagal na pong nasa batas
old
yan.
Rule. Yes. Well, there's a lot of benefits naman of reporting our income also and filing for our taxes because we can use it for purposes like bank loans or our visas and what else? Those things where we would need to file an ITR or any proof of income. That's very valuable document.
That's true. Now, Misha, ako naman biglang may naisip. What if people refuse to fill up the books? Tinatamad ako eh. Anyway, yung negosyo ko maliit lang naman eh. Or
human error.
Or human error. Di nila alam na kailangan palang gawin. What happens then, Misha?
Yes. Actually, there's a list of things na if we don't do or perform as registered businesses, there's penalty consequence. So one of those is not filling up the books and not issuing official receipts or SI. Now, when BIR finds out about this practice, there's a penalty to it. And the penalty could range from 25,000 up to 500,000 pesos. So that's a lot of money. That's why we should be doing our part once we are a registered business.
I think, Misha, this is what we call the compromise penalties ni BIR.
Yes.
Ano? And so, itong concept ng compromise penalties na to, kasi these are violations of the tax code, of the law. No? So, pag hindi nyo ginawa itong mga to, these are violations. So, imbis na the BIR files a criminal case against you, they came up with a genius idea of imposing compromise penalties. No? So, pag nag-violate kayo, magbabayad kayo ng multa, no? Instead of going to jail.
Thank you for sharing that, Misha. Now, I have another question. Ang dami ko nababalitaan na yung BIR biglang bumibisita raw sa premises. Di ba? Nag-i-inspect and nag-i-imbestiga.
Uy, nakakaba yun.
Talaga. What's that about, Misha? And how can we prevent that or manage that if it happens?
Yes, so that's what we call tax mapping, which is actually part of the role also of our BIR officers. So they go out, on field and visit of businesses, especially those with physical office or physical store. So for our protection also as taxpayer, we also have the right to ask for proof of authority of these BIR officers. So maybe we can ask for their official ID or an instruction from BIR, vision order
Mission
from BIR,
orders. Yeah.
yes, to prove na talaga may authority sila to check and visit our business. Kasi we need to also protect our interests. So once that's established, okay, they really have the authority to do so, they have a checklist of things that they look for in the business, which should be in the place of business. Well, number one, the books, the OR or SI, and
Mhm.
then the permit should be posted on the wall of our business where it's visible, and that includes the certificate of registration, the registration fee. That's the proof of payment of the annual registration fee, yung 500 pesos, and the SEC, at least a picture of our SEC permit and the business permit from the LGU. Also, yung ask for receipt, the orange piece of paper, that's
Mm.
also important because that's part of the BIR's checklist. So if anything of these items is missing, there's a corresponding penalty to it. So, well, there could be fair reasons naman why it's not in the place of business. For example, it's the books are borrowed by the accountant to update, ganyan. We can use those reasons, but it depends na on how we communicate that to the officer. And we need to be truthful about it also.
So yung tax mapping na yan, ma'am, biglaan ba yan o parang sasabihin ba nila na kung kailan sila darating? How does that work?
Yes, random, and we don't know when it can happen. So we should always be ready. We need to have all these items in the checklist to be in our place of business. Or if not, we need to be ready with our reason why it's not there.
Misha, I'm sure sa dami ng mga kliyente mo, there have been very interesting stories about their experience with tax mapping. Baka may mga naaalala ka which stand out.
Yes, so we have a client. This is in Muntinlupa. So ang common reaction is we panic kasi parang we feel threatened or parang we feel guilty agad na we're hiding something, but it's actually, well, it's our role. We help these clients to calm down, and that we handle the communication with BIR. So they either pass the phone to us so we can help them with the proper communication. Kasi they might come out as like parang guilty agad even if actually they're compliant naman.
So,
So
pwede
yun,
pala
just
ng
calm
phone na,
down.
pwede yung phone a friend. Hindi naman bawal na
Yeah,
humingi ng tulong.
yes. The
So
BIR allows that naman.
but what I'm gathering is if you have all these documents na usual na chine-check ng BIR, there's really nothing to panic about. Tama ba, Miss Sha?
Yes, that's right.
You know, so
If we know naman we're compliant, then there's nothing to fear. Ito lang, another tip, if
hmm,
we have only a staff in
mhm.
our store or in our office, let's give them like instruction on how to handle these things. Now, well, number one, don't panic, and then number two, they can call us, either the accountant or the owner, so they would know how to communicate. Kasi worst case, baka may masabi siya na information that shouldn't be shared to these officers. So we just limit the
Like company
communication.
secrets.
Yeah, or whatever.
Mga formula, secret formula.
Yeah,
Oh.
oo. Yes, or incriminating information. So we just need to be protective also of those things to share, what to
Pero,
share and not to share.
Misha, I think a better way of doing it is systematizing the way you prepare for tax mapping. Is
Ye-
there a resource na pwedeng ibigay natin na parang, oh, ito yung something na pwede ninyong panghawakan na prepare these. Kumbaga may checklist ka inside your company so that
Yeah.
they could be prepared. Do you have something like that?
Yes, we have the checklist and we can share it to them. Maybe share
Let's
the link
post it. Yeah, down in the link in the description box.
so you can download it.
Ayan, that would be super helpful for people. Now, is there anything else, Misha? Ang dami natin actually na pag-usapan ng mga tips and tricks dito, and yun, ako, biggest learning ko is hindi naman pala bawal na mag-phone a friend.
Oo.
Well, 'di ba? Hindi para siyang criminal prosecution. Hindi. iimbestigahan ka.
Upo ka dyan.
Upo ka dyan.
Huwag kang tumawag sa kahit kanino.
Hindi naman pala ganun. It's something that can be addressed by the owner or by the accounting team. So I love that tip. Are there any other tips that you would want to share, Ms. Sha?
Well, it doesn't help to also give them a drink or maybe something to snack with whenever they visit your office. Like
magpakain
they're
naman,
still-
ano.
Yeah.
That's good.
Siguro pag tayo bumisita sa office ni Think Tank, pagme-meriendahin din tayo.
Tingin ko, sanay eh.
Yeah, ako naman biggest takeaways ko, guys, please always remember yung four main books natin. These aren't just hindi lang to yung mga the stuff that will collect dust, no, pagkatapos nyo magrehistro. Fini-fill upan po talaga yan ng bookkeeper, no. So yung sales journal, purchase journal, general journal and general ledger. And then plus yung additional, yung cash disbursements and cash receipts, no? Kung VAT registered ka. These are very important books. Please, guys, kailangan nyo ng bookkeeper or train somebody to bookkeep dun sa sa mga negosyo ninyo. Yun ang takeaway ko, attorney.
Ms. Sha, just to wrap up, baka may final words ka of wisdom to share with our readers.
Yes, so well, like any child, your business is something that you need to take care of and alagaan talaga yan. So we need to be compliant with the BIR just to make sure we avoid yung open cases na tinatawag natin, because that could really make us spend a lot of money. But well, the good thing is, as long as you are following all the rules, the Philippines is a very safe place to do business in, and your business can really flourish and be blessed if you do things properly.
I like that.
So God bless to all the business owners in the Philippines.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Sha. For most of you, this video was more than enough, and if it makes your life easier, then you're welcome. But there are those of you who will watch this episode and conclude that they need additional help.
Now, if that's you, we invite you to get in touch with Think Tank Professional Services, Inc., a professional services firm that helps businesses grow and flourish with proper financial advice and business practices. Think Tank carries out this vision with a team of professionals with multidisciplinary training and experience in the fields of accounting, finance, taxation, audit, legal, and government compliance. So get in touch with them at www.thinktankaccountants.com.
One last thing. Your business is a fragile being. Just like a child, it needs special attention and care. Provide it with the right resources, assistance, and input so that it grows up strong, healthy, and eventually it will return the favor and take care of you. So was it that simple?
Now go make better choices.